Hi, good morning everyone. I hope all of you guys are doing fine. So normally whenever I go to any kind of gatherings, student gatherings, conferences, conclaves, a lot of aspirants come to me and ask me, sir, what should I do to qualify for UPSC? So normally the question that comes to my mind is, what is an ideal UPSC aspirant? Because they always ask me what to do, what not to do. That is a perpetual question going through my mind. And even for you as an aspirant, that question must be going through your mind, what you should do, what you should not do in order to be a good aspirant, in order to qualify UPSC, in order to get your name in that final PDF where you want to see that name, correct? Well, today I'm going to discuss with you what you should not do as a UPSC aspirant, what are a few things that you should definitely try to stay away from, definitely try to avoid, so that you get an idea what are the common mistakes that are done by a lot of people, and if you can avoid these common mistakes, then you are definitely a step ahead of a lot of people, because a lot of times we lose not because we are doing good things or doing the right things, because we are making too many mistakes. So reducing these mistakes can be a big win-win, can be a big achievement in itself. So I would discuss that. So what are the few things? Let us talk about them. They are very straightforward, simple, and if you have seen my other videos you will also realize them, but here I am going to talk with you about them a little bit more in detail. So number one is not learning time management. See, normally when anyone starts UPSC aspirant starts their preparation, they straight away jump into getting books, making this big mound of UPSC books, Lakshmikant, then there are all these other books, economics books, all these books. They will make a mound of 15-20 books. They will stare at them day in and day out, but they will not have any plan how to cover them. There is hardly any time management involved. So it is very, very important that all of you first learn the art of time management. Learn the art of time management. This art will not only serve you in actually cracking UPSC exam, but this art will also serve you later on when you join as an officer, because without this you will not be able to perform, you will not be able to do your duties towards the public. So it is very important to learn the art of time management. And how do you learn the time management part? I have already talked about this in my other videos, but be very aware of the limitation of time. Time is the most important resource. Okay. It is the resource that is slipping out of our hand and you cannot get it back. So how to learn time management? First of all, realize the limitation of time. You have 24 hours in a day. Divide that carefully into different activities you have to do and achieve on that day, so that you can actually plan properly. So for example, 8 hours are going to go for sleep. Okay, then you have 16 hours left. Out of the 16 hours, you're going to spend at least 3 hours doing chores like lunch, dinner, other things, maybe more. So you have 12 to 13 hours left, and out of these 12 to 13 hours, you have to also spend some time for recreation, rejuvenation, exercise. So if you take out these 2 more hours, you have around 10 hours left. So 10 hours you have to yourself if you are a student fully dedicated to UPSC, that you can apply actively to UPSC studies. And now once you have these 10 hours in front of you, identify the most productive hours of the day for you. And by most productive, what I mean is, what are the exact times when you are able to learn, analyze, understand things the most. Identify these most productive hours, these 10, 12 hours, 10 to 11 hours that you have. So for me, for example, 6 a.m. in the morning till 12 noon was very highly productive. So I would wake up and study at this time instead of doing anything. and I utilize these 4-5 hours completely, and after lunch I would take some rest and then again utilize 2-3 hours fully. So that way I was able to do 8 hours of very good, highly productive studying every day. So this time management is very important. So make a proper chart, make a checklist of things you want to do every day, day in and day out. Follow them. If you're not able to follow them, if you're having any distractions, figure out the reason for distractions. So this time management is that maximum aspirants don't do. Maximum aspirants are failing here. So 90% of the competition is already reduced here who are not doing time management. Okay. Now what is the second thing? The second thing is falling into the trap of getting too much advice from coaching institutes, random coaching institutes, random people who have maybe appeared for the exam, so tutors. Like for example, I've heard students say that हिस्ट्री सब्जेक्ट ले लो, बहुत अच्छा सब्जेक्ट है, आप पास हो जाओगे. अरे आप डॉक्टर के पास जाओगे तो डॉक्टर क्या बोलेगा, दवाई ले लो. इवन दो योर डिजीज माइट नॉट नीड अ दवाई, यू जस्ट नीड सम एक्सरसाइज एंड सम रिलैक्सेशन. सो इफ यू गो टू अ टीचर हु इज teaching history, he will always tell you, he or she will always tell you to take history. If you go to a teacher teaching political science, they will tell you to take political science. But this kind of listening to advice here and there and not going to authentic sources, good sources, not going to UPSC syllabus, this is the most authentic guide for UPSC exam. Forget all teachers, everyone. Not going to old PYQs of UPSC as your guide. If you do these two things properly, if you understand these two things properly, you will be able to figure out your optional. You will be able to figure out how to deal with different GS subjects. But another 90% students are not doing this. And because of that, they are not able to qualify for UPSC. So don't do that. Don't be a student who is not into time management. Don't be a student and aspirant who does not read UPSC syllabus, does not look at the old PYQs, does not look at authentic sources. Like, listen to good topper stocks. There are some useful topper stocks out there and they will tell you exactly what things to use to go for. I would advise that. Okay. Now let's go for another thing that I feel lot of students, lot of aspirants are doing out there, but they should not be doing. And that is falling into the trap of considering UPSC selection as solution to all your problems. This is a very big mistake. If you think you're going to get selected into UPSC and you're going to become an IAS officer, IPS officer and your life is set, that is not true. You're going to still face a lot of ups and downs in your life. You're going to have a lot of stress in your life. You're going to have a lot of work in your life and you have to accept that. That is what you're going for. It is not a solution to all your problems. It is only a solution to your getting a job, a good job where you get opportunities to truly do some very, very big works. Participate in nation building. Here you will get a chance to work on different projects, on poverty reduction projects, on social projects, on economic projects. That is what this job entails. This experience is going to be very rich experience. Okay? But if you are thinking it will solve all your problems, whatever problems you have in your life, that is not going to happen. In fact, your problems are going to increase. They are going to have real repercussions. So don't glamorize this exam. Don't glamorize this exam. Okay? If you glamorize this exam, you are going to have a very sad entry into the civil services. Once you get into it, you will be brought down to earth very quickly. Let me tell you that. Okay? So These are the 3 things I wanted to talk to you about today. I hope they help you. Basic things, very important things. Of course, I will talk to you about more things in the future. I will continue this series. I think this format I like, where I can write and tell you, and hopefully you also like this format. If you have any feedback on this format, let me know. Thanks, take care, bye bye.